Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, at least I've been getting a number of questions on how to set limit buy and sell orders, and I wanted to cover those, especially because I went over GDAX, the majority of the numbers and metrics and everything on on GDAX itself, but I never went over limit orders, and I feel like that's a very useful tool if someone doesn't know how to do it, so I wanted to make sure that I covered that. But let's get going here. I do want to do another video on stop orders, but I felt like none of these are particularly extremely complex, but they're difficult enough that I felt like doing stop orders specifically would probably be better on its own. I'm going to start here just explaining market. Market orders are basically orders that are set, and when you buy, for example, and you select place buy order, it's going to find the person with the price closest to the middle here, closest to this current price, and it's the first person that will fill your order, or the first amount of Bitcoin sitting out here ready to be filled will take yours. So it's going to you can a lot of things can happen when you buy market order, but the most advantageous reason you would want to click place buy order is because you want it to happen now. If Bitcoin is moving quite quickly, for example, and you want to get in before it's moved up any higher, it can be a good time to select market buy, because you're going to get the best price you can closest to now. One thing to realize on GDAX, and a lot of exchanges are this way, is when you place a market order, you are getting a fee. It's a very small fee generally, but your small percentage of your amount you're spending, but you will get charged a fee when you use limit orders. For contrast, limit orders, you're considered the maker, and you don't have a fee associated with it. So that's pretty cool because you could potentially buy on GDAX or sell on GDAX without fees. So that's a very useful thing to do. So just to be overly clear here, if you did a market sell, it's going to sell at the market price, which is simply something probably very close to this, which is the mid market price. So this is the middle of where someone is willing to buy at and where someone is willing to sell at. It's going to find if you're trying to sell, it's going to find the closest amount of Bitcoin for the closest price to the middle here, and it's going to give you, it's going to try to sell to them. What can happen is if you're doing a very big sell order, it will fill up. It will take you can see that right here, we've got 23 Bitcoin can be sold at 11,374. So if you did an order of 100 Bitcoin, you might wipe out all of these, and you might start with getting your first Bitcoins at a price of 11,378, but you might end with the price selling your Bitcoins at a price of 11,361. Historically, Bitcoin and a lot of cryptos in general have gone through times where someone has, I think foolishly, arguably, done a limit buy or sell. Generally sells, usually it sells, but they'll do a limit sell with an extremely large amount, and they will dump the price, and they will have enough to just absorb tons of Bitcoin and make the price extremely low. Anyway, okay, so now that we have the rough idea of market, let's do limit here. So this is really what we're about here in this video. So cool thing about limit, I think I might just try to explain this and then show it. Basically what limit will do is allow you to buy, for example, below the current price. Like if you wanted to buy Bitcoin at $10,000 and it's 11,400 right now, you could put in a limit order saying I want to buy when it hits $11,000, and if you're asleep or whatever or not paying attention, the price hits that, you'll automatically get a filled order. Another awesome thing about limit orders is you don't get fees associated with them. So similarly, you could use the sell to say that I have, you can see I have 0.2-ish Bitcoin long. It's sitting there right now, and let's say I wanted to sell 0.01 when the price hit 12,000. I could go over here to sell, put in my info, and when the Bitcoin price hit 12,000, I would automatically sell 0.01. So let's go over that. Let's actually walk through this. So let's say that we want to sell when the price hits 10,000, sorry. And let's say that we want to buy when the price hits 10,000. We want to buy 0.001. I think that's the lowest you can buy. Lowest amount you can buy on GDAX, which it will tell you down here that it will allow you to it'll be $10, so that you can just make sure you did your numbers right. That should, that can help you know you didn't swap these two or something, which is really easy to do, and I would always check this stuff twice. Another thing, just for what it's worth, is if you don't want a fee, I would leave it on post only. It's up to you, because the reason you might want to allow taker is because in a really volatile market, it will basically, if the price gets tries to go past 10,000, it'll get you the next closest thing to that. The price hits 10,000 and bounces up before yours is filled. It'll fill it, I think, on the way back up. I hope that makes sense. It'll do a market order if your limit order isn't quite met, trying to get you as close as it can to that price. I think that's how that works. Hopefully that makes sense. Generally, I've always left it on post only, but it's cool that they have more options, I guess. So here you have advanced options, and I would probably not worry too much about those. I would just leave it on good till canceled. So that would mean that it's going to work until you cancel it. So that's probably self-explanatory. So let's say, here we are again, our buy order. We've got 0.001, extremely small amount, literally $10 worth at because we want to buy it at $10,000. So if we click buy order, there we go. So now it's added here. So it's sitting there. And if I left for, doesn't really matter how long, because it'll sit there until Bitcoin reaches 10,000. Maybe it'll never reach 10,000. That'd be cool. If it does, then it will buy 0.001, and hands off. It'll just do it automatically. It's pretty awesome. That is that. Let's do a sell order here. So we're long 0.021 Bitcoin there. So let's say that we want to sell 0.001 Bitcoin when the price hits 12,000. So we'll leave everything the same like we did, and you don't have to check this, but we've got good till canceled, and we'll say place sell order. And there we go, it's sitting there. And so what would happen is, when in the future price hits 12,000, it will automatically sell 0.001 Bitcoin. So, and it will do it without a fee. So you can see over here some of my trading history. I don't really want to show it all. It's not that big of a deal. It's hardly anything. These do not have, you can see in the fee here, they don't have fees. And the reason they don't have a fee is because they were limit orders and there's no fee associated with them. So anyway, that's basically a limit order. It's about as simple as I can make it. Hopefully that will be something that makes enough sense to you that you can take advantage of it. If it's not, or if you have more questions, let me know. If you want me to cover stops, which are a little bit more complex, and I would say it would really be helpful to have an idea of limit orders to understand stops. All of this is very understandable, but I just want to do it one step at a time. I think it's the best for everybody if I do. And limits are what most people would need. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know at the bottom. I'll do my best to answer it. And the only reason I'm doing this video is because people expressed that there was a need, and so that's great for me as a YouTuber to have that input, and it's mutually beneficial. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll talk to you later.